Hey, Tony G here, your mortgage planner. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about construction loans today and building a home. Well, why would you want to do that? Maybe you just can't find what you like. So I'm going to simplify this in a way that most people never hear, because a construction to permanent loan, it can feel complicated, but it's really not. It's really a breeze if you understand the process in the right order. So let's walk through it step by step. I've got 6 steps, so if you want to whip out a piece of paper and some notes, that would be great. So we got the loan application. It's just like buying a regular house. We need to structure the loan. We'll get that filled out. You need to submit your documents to us. We'll run credit, income, and assets, and we'll get you pre-approved up front. I share with you the loan strategies. We decide on the build price, the cash to close, and other needed decisions made up front. And that's really based on what you feel like you can pay per month and how much you have available in assets. This is one loan with 2 phases. So phase 1 is really the construction phase. During that time, your payments are typically interest only, and they're based on the amount of funds that have actually been used, what we call the prevailing balance as the draws are taken. So now, when you may have the option to go ahead and include escrows during the phase and taxes and insurance. Otherwise, if it's not set up, you'll need to bring those full 10 months of escrows to closing. Depending on your down payment, you may have the option to handle the establishment of an escrow account separately. That's part of how the loan is structured from the very beginning. All right, so let's jump into step number 2, your financial preparedness. This is one of the biggest factors in whether your loan or your build goes nice and smooth. You're gonna need a cushion. So typically, you're looking at setting aside 5% of the build cost. Now, that's different depending on the loan program. USDA, VA, FHA, they all have a different percentage. But rule of thumb, if you've got 12 months of PITI in an outside account, 6 months in cash, 6 months in a checking or savings or investment properties, you should be pretty okay. So, because something or can come up while you're building a house. Change orders, upgrades, material differences, that's just part of building a place. You know, what if you make a decision in the middle of it and say, I don't want that brick fireplace, I want it to be custom stone. The decisions you make up front, this is where most mistakes happen. There are key decisions on the loan side that you need to make in the very beginning. And your loan has to be structured this way, and it needs to match your decisions. For example, do you want to set up an interest reserve? That means your interest-only payments during construction can be built into the loan. But be careful. Doing this will increase the build cost, and the home may need to be, and if it appraises, it needs to include the interest. The option above is alternative to making a payment while the home is being built, and probably the smartest decision. You'll also decide, do you want escrows set during construction or not? And how do you want your contingency funds handled? And here's the important part. Whatever you choose has to match your loan structure from day one. If it doesn't, that's where issues can arise later in the process. Rather know it up now than figure it out later. All right, so step number 4, the builder and the build plans themselves. We've got to keep in mind, you're not just qualifying yourself, your builder has to get approved as well. We need to make sure that they have been vetted with our company or any other loan company. We need to take a look at their licensing, their insurance, their experience. Have they built houses like what they're trying to build for you? And have they built one in the last 5 years or built 2 every month for the last 12 years? And you'll also need finalized plans, specifications, and a contract before moving forward. Vetting the builder is just as important as qualifying for the loan. So step number 5, how the money is released. This is called the draw process. Funds are released in stages as work is completed and inspected. So the foundation gets done. Hey, write a check, there's a draw to the builder. Framing gets done. There's a check, goes to the builder. And this continues throughout the build. Those aren't exact examples, but you get the gist. Now here's something a lot of people don't realize. If you already own your land, that's fantastic. No loan on it. that could count as equity. Say 20% of $450,000 build cost, that's 90 grand. And you pay cash for the land with no loan. That means that you will start off with about 20% down, and you may only need to bring the cost of closing to the closing table, as long as the appraisal supports the value. He quotes, as an added benefit, you will be provided with a construction loan term that is responsible for working with you, the builder, our internal processors and underwriters, and kicks off everything with construction. We do what we call a kickoff call. This is between you, your builder, the draw specialist, and me, and we go through the numbers, the draw process, the timeline. We set expectations so you know what to expect and how to be communicated with. You'll also have a main point of contact, including myself. That step alone sets proper expectations and give you one single point of contact as you're going through this 10-month period. Then we've got the final phase. This is the modification. So once the construction is complete, the loan transitions into your permanent mortgage. There is no major closing, no starting over, but this part is important. This is when everything gets finalized. If you've already locked your permanent interest loan in, then good. If not, we want to take a look at this 60 to 30 days before the estimated completion date. Any prepaid items like interest, taxes, insurance, or escrows are all brought current and required at closing. You will get a final statement a few days before close. So be prepared to bring money. Once you have modified your loan, your full payment will begin the very first month after completion. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and HOA, if there is one. Well, shoot, you'll pay HOA to the HOA, not to the mortgage company. So when you really break this down, a construction of permanent loan follows a very clear path. First, the loan application and structure of the loan program, then your financial preparedness, contingency account or waiving that if you have the necessary funds available, then the decisions you make up front, providing your options around escrows, interest reserves, and other critical decisions that need to be made on the very beginning. Then the builder project. This pretty much runs simultaneously with the loan application phase. Then we will go ahead and start releasing your money, and everything will flow nice and easily. The entire process becomes a lot less intimidating. And here's what I'm seeing right now. More and more buyers, especially the move-up buyers, people that are buying their second, third, or dream home, they're choosing to build because they're tired of settling. They want the right home on the right lot in the right location. They don't want to have to sell. So if you're even thinking about building a home, don't just jump in. Let's go ahead and put a plan together. Let's map it out the right way from the very beginning. If you want to talk through your situation, you can always give me a call, or you can click on my calendar link to set up a 30-minute intro call, or just shoot me an email to tonyg@atlanticbay.com. This is Tony G teaching you the basics.